year and a half ago, after my conversion story was released, I was able to find my missionary. It took less than 48 hours. I can remember one day there was an elder by the name of Elder Keller who came over and invited me to take the discussions. I didn't see him again after my baptism, but I just wish that he knew that that 11-year-old girl took it all the way. It's because of him that I've been sealed in the temple to my own returned missionary. And I'm raising 5 children in the gospel today. And this is the gospel to me.
As I recall, I think I actually got a text message first, and I looked at it and I said, #find Elder Keller, what in the world? I didn't know what was going on, honestly. At that moment, one of my high school friends called and said, "Brandon, this woman is looking for you from Florida." I was like, what? You know, I didn't know what was going on. But realizing this was 27 years ago, and you know, not that I haven't thought about a mission, it's been the most, one of the most influential things in my life, but I just, I didn't really put anything together. I was like, all right, again, cool, great. And I didn't really do anything with it again.
He apparently watched the video and said, that's not me. She's not looking for me. That's the wrong Elder Keller. His wife decided to dig a little bit deeper, and she contacted me and she said, are you sure it's Brandon Keller from Utah? And she asked me if I had any pictures. I didn't. I didn't have one picture, not even of my baptism day. I didn't have one picture that I had seen. So she went through and found an old picture of him, and she said, is this him? And I said, yes, that is him. I hadn't seen him in 25 years. And so then she went and she looked through his mission pictures, and she found my baptism picture. And so when he came home, she showed him, and she said, honey, it's you. There's no denying this. This is the person that you taught, and she's looking for you.
I'll just say, the only reason I went on a mission is because it was the thing to do. And I know that's horrible, but I didn't have this burning desire to go. I just, everybody else is doing it. Maybe I should do it. But it was interesting because it didn't take long. And for the first time in my life, and maybe the only time, I felt the Spirit of the Lord, and it told me, serve the people. And I really, for 2 years of my life, I dedicated myself to doing that. And, it changed my life.
So I woke up the morning of my daughter's baptism, and it felt surreal. And my husband looked over at me and he's like, today is the day. And he knew, he got it. Of course, I've talked about this with him since we've been married, 17 years, and it just felt unreal that this was going to happen.
I was nervous. I don't want to say I'm antisocial, but I'm kind of a private person. I look at myself post-mission, I say, man, you haven't made much of yourself. I didn't know if she expected me to be some superhero, spiritual giant. I'm just a man who struggles with everything men struggle with. But when I saw her and she immediately started crying, my heart melted. It's like, this has nothing to do with me again, Brandon. This has nothing to do with your pride. This is about someone who found the Lord because you happened to be in the right place at the right time. And remember, I was just an instrument. I just happened to be there, and I just happened to share the gospel. The Lord converted her, but I was just happy that I was actually part of it, because that's a whole family now that's eternal, that has the perspective, that understands, and it's a beautiful thing.
It was a full circle moment. I had been baptized, and now we were baptizing my daughter, and he was able to be there to witness both me and her. I think for my own needs, I needed to meet him again, that I needed to have this closure, for him to know that his efforts didn't fall by the wayside, that by him acting on that, it impacted not only me, but my children and their children. And I wanted him to know that so much. And I'm so happy that we got this opportunity and that he knows now. I think other people need to either reach out to those people that they've taught, or know that they can make a difference in somebody else's life by serving a mission. I think if you are on the fence about going on a mission, that you just need to do it because you may impact somebody that perhaps somebody else would have missed the opportunity. And your promptings may be different than somebody else's. And so I would say just go. Just go.
The missionary program of the church, it's inspiring because people give up their lives to go out and do honestly something that's hard. I mean, nobody wants to, you have a set budget, you don't have a lot of extra money, you're walking, you're riding a bike, it's hot, it's cold, it's snowing. And the interesting is when these missionaries come home, guess what they say? The best 2 years of their life. So I would say if you're struggling, put your trust in the Lord and do it. I know it's scary sometimes to think about it, but for all the trials and all the problems that may come along, there'll be that many more blessings, and the growth you'll see in yourself is amazing.